Hey guys, what's up? Chris here for BeerGeekNation.com. Doing something a little bit special today. Something I've never done before, and I don't know that I'll ever do again, but I thought this is kind of a cool thing to do. A lot of breweries, a lot of the bigger breweries, I should say, also who have brew pubs, tend to make their own sodas, root beers, ginger ales, what have you. So my brother-in-law Lee here, I guess I should introduce him. He's really into different root beers. So I said, well, we should do like a video on, a couple of breweries that also have root beers and, review them or taste them or whatever. I know nothing about, quote, craft root beer.
I don't know that much either.
You've had more than I have. That's all I do know.
That's true.
But basically what we have here, this is Saranac out of New York, also known as Matt Brewing. They brewed it's just a root beer, right?
Just regular root beer.
This one is Appalachian's root beer. This one's brewed with honey. This is a local Harrisburg brewery, and this is probably the best thing they make, actually, from what I can tell.
Ouch.
And the only Goose Island out of Chicago, of course, of Bourbon County Stout fame, of course, of being bought by Anheuser-Busch fame of recent. This is also a root beer, and this is made with cane sugar. You were saying the big difference, I guess, is in sweeteners, or in addition to sweeteners.
Yeah.
So if you want to...
The Goose Island and the Appalachian are both with cane sugar, whereas the Saranac is with high fructose corn syrup. So definitely a little bit sweeter, a little bit faker
yeah.
taste, a little bit more Coca-Cola taste than the other two, but definitely doesn't discount it at all. Right. It's still good.
This is from left to right. This is the Goose Island, correct? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah.
I was making sure.
Right.
It is the Goose Island.
All right.
It is the Goose Island.
This one, to me, I mean, it's got that dark brown Coca-Cola look to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear. Surprised.
It's actually a little bit less dark than the other two.
Yeah, you're right.
It does have a faint little bit more light getting through it.
I would say in beer terms, this is like a brown ale, and these are both like stouts. The Appalachian's actually, it's got like some red hues where the light's hitting it in there. All of them had about the same amount of head on there. The Goose Island had the least.
The Goose Island is the least. The Saranac, actually, when I drank one earlier on today, and it had a big head on it. It was kind of, it put the other two to shame. The Appalachian, very minimal, and then the Goose Island is definitely the least.
The least.
Yeah.
And they're all, you can kind of see it in the Saranac one. It's this off-white, brownish. Not coffee, but like a really, really...
Kind of like a root beer head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly. So I guess, the aroma on these things, I can smell them already. Yeah. Sarnac's got a lot of the, what is that traditional, is that sarsaparilla? Whatever that root beer
sarsaparilla, I believe, is what it is, yeah. The best thing that I can say is it has that Barks root beer bite smell to it. I believe that's the sarsaparilla.
Whoa. I tell you, for me, the strongest smelling one is the Goose Island. I don't know what it is.
You know what it is? It's vanilla.
Yeah.
It's vanilla. We'll get into it with the taste, but the Goose Island has a really, really strong, almost cream soda taste behind it.
Yeah, it is really vanilla forward.
It's almost like smelling an actual bottle of vanilla. It's really strong. Really,
and I would
really
say
strong.
the Appalachian one has the strongest black licorice type of smell to it. I guess that's a sarsaparilla, but again, I think it's stronger.
A lot of root beers do use the black licorice.
That anise smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, the Saranac one to me smells just a little bit subdued, more subdued than the other two.
The best way that I can think of it is like the Barks or the mug root beer. The root beer that you get on a tap is what you're smelling with this one.
Okay.
Almost the sweetness comes above everything else, where these two kind of have like a distinct something behind them.
They're very different. Yeah. This one's just kind of like, all right, I get it, but...
Yeah.
All right, so taste, you want to start with? You tell me.
Let's start with
the Saranac?
Our right-hand side, our Saranac.
It's really good.
It is very, very good. Definitely, like I said, you can smell it, and you can also taste a little bit of bite, a little bit of sharpness.
Yeah, it is definitely it's sweet.
It
really
is
sweet.
It's got that high fructose corn syrup taste to it. It has that kind of coat your mouth type of feeling.
It does.
Yeah.
Nice carbonation though. It really helps to kind of move the flavor along. Mm-hmm. You definitely get that sweet kind of. There's a slight vanilla in the aftertaste almost.
A little bit, yeah. But the dominant taste is that bite, sarsaparilla, black licorice, whatever it is.
This would be
Appellation.
I think I've had this one. I know I had this one before.
I have had this one.
That's good.
Yep.
This one definitely has more black licorice in it.
This one has a lot of black licorice in it, and it also, as Chris mentioned, it has the honey that's brewed with it.
It's a little bit smoother.
And it does have like a little bit of almost a thickness to it. Mm-hmm. It's not very carbonated in taste. Almost no carbonation.
Saranac definitely is more carbonated. This one to me is a more complex, I guess, root beer than the Saranac is.
It has a lot more flavors. You get that initial kind of black licorice taste as it goes down. You get, I don't know if it's the honey, I don't know if it's some vanilla, but you get a little bit more creaminess as
when they
aftertaste.
use honey in beer, besides boosting the ABV, it smooths everything and kind of blends and mellows everything together. That's kind of what I'm getting this. It's a really smooth kind of, like you said, this one's a little bit bitey. This one's really...
This one has that bite, that black licorice, but it almost...
It's smoothed over.
Yeah, it almost disappears. It almost disappears as you go. And then the Goose Island.
Wow, that is completely different.
It is very, very different. Just recently got this one. I hadn't tried this one until probably a month or so ago. Very, very good. But the one thing that I've always said, anybody that I've talked to about it or recommended it to, it's very cream soda. It's very...
You are 100% correct. It reminds me more of a cream soda than it does like a traditional root beer, I guess.
It's a very subdued root beer. It doesn't have a lot of bite. I think with the carbonation, it's probably a toss-up between the Saranac and the Goose Island. I don't think they're too distinguishable.
The Goose Island definitely is more vanilla. I thought you meant taste-wise.
Carbonation-wise.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
The vanilla, hands down, is Goose Island. Yeah, absolutely. Very good, though. I mean, if you're looking for something that doesn't have a lot of bite, still has a little bit of that root beer quality to it.
A lot of cream soda.
Yeah, doesn't have a lot of that sharpness.
I think having the three, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know there's gonna be that much difference in the taste.
These are three huge ends of the spectrum. Absolutely, completely different root beers. There's almost no parallels between them.
There really isn't, and it's weird because, well, it all comes back to like when you buy a root beer in the store, like your mug or your A&W. They all do kind of taste the same. I mean, there's a little bit of similarity, and that's like the same with your Bud Light and your Coors Light.
Yeah.
They all pretty much taste the same. So I guess it goes to show you that, craft soda
does have a difference.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think between the three, I think the Saranac, they were all really good, but I think the Saranac was probably my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really liked... as a root beer, I think I really liked the Appellation. For me, it was the best one. But I like this, but I don't know in terms of root beer that I would go crazy for it. But I really like the vanilla.
Okay.
So I think I would go with the Appellation.
As your top?
Strictly on taste, yeah.
All right. All right. So, like Chris said, I'm a big root beer person. Appellation has been my favorite since I first came down and visited Chris. Brought me to the brewery. I got this. I got their ginger beer. I might have gotten their birch beer. I know they make a birch beer as well. I don't remember if I got that or not, but Appellation has been my favorite. I haven't tried every root beer out there, but it's a complex flavor. It's good. It goes down easy. Second and third is tough for me. I like the Saranac because it still has a little bit of that bite. It still has a little bit of that root beer black licorice. I'm a big fan of black licorice. But at the same time, you get a lot of that high fructose corn syrup that I think detracts from it a little bit.
It's a lot sweet, not a lot sweeter, but it's definitely sweeter.
The best way that I can explain it is it kind of like coats your mouth. You almost get like a remnants afterwards of like that almost stickiness.
Yeah.
And then the Goose Island, very, very good.
Yeah.
The only thing that I do always say if I'm ever going to have someone try it is it's vanilla. There's a lot of cream soda taste to it. Really, really good, but if you're looking for a traditional root beer.
And it doesn't list vanilla on there, but it says
No.
natural and artificial flavors, so who knows what they're actually doing to it. But there's got to be. So I think with that said, you would still go with the Appellation?
Appellation, I have not found anything that can beat it yet. You know, the IBC's out there. There's somewhat like you were saying with the mugs and the barks, you know, there's you know, they're kind of a similar taste. The Appellation has a completely different taste than most root beers that I've had.
And you definitely, it's what they do with that honey. You can definitely taste that they add that honey to kind of make it a little bit different, and it does. You can tell it works for the I almost called it beer for the root beer. It's kind of forced to have it. But yeah, so with that said, we're just gonna do some more of these. So this is pretty cool. I honestly didn't think they would be that different. So what do you guys think? Is there a soda or root beer or whatever?
Yeah, if you post up some good root beers, I'll look for them. I'll try and find them. I mean, root beer is, to me, what beer is to Chris. I will try any root beer and give it a shot at least once. And usually I'm not disappointed, so.
So with that said, guys, remember, life is too short. Drink amazing root beers. Cheers.
If you're under 21, definitely stick with the root beers.